goodies, and the entire world will just come here. I mean, it's like there's no way to get around this, is there? And they will vote to take the guns and to do whatever the Democrats say. It's not that these Central and South Americans and Mexicans even have the same values as the technocrat, overlord, science fiction, nightmare globalists that run the Democrats and Republicans. I mean, it's a breakaway civilization of technocrats using supercomputers to wargame everything. They're using tribalism with big welfare classes that'll riot at the drop of a hat. Then they create a big police force to control them, which is really aimed at the producers, the middle class that's left. The robots are going to cut us out of everything. I mean, it's checkmate, folks, if we don't get involved now. I just can't believe that we've allowed a technocratic system to get control of our wealth and build this thing. And now they're just flooding everything with refugees of the third world. And then you see what they do in stable countries like Libya or Iraq. They blow them up and bring in radicals to chop all the Christians' heads off. I guess it really is the devil. Because, I mean, only the mind of El Diablo could come up with this. Dale in Illinois, anything else?
I mean, anyone that's ever been to Chicago will know that it's a cesspool of violence and drugs and gangs, and this isn't helping out at all. And even our state is in debt. It's in a lot of trouble.
Oh, you're in total debt. You've been maneuvered into that position. Appreciate the call. We're not being negative here. This is where it's going. The plan is to wreck everything and implode everything but central city areas that'll be super fancy and nice for the elite to live, and then rural areas like Whitefish where the elite will control everything. You'll go through checkpoints to get into it. Everyone else will live in hell. That's the public, Cloward and Piven, Agenda 21 plan in Congress. Jay in Iowa, thanks for holding. You're on the air.
Yeah, I just wanted to say something related to the veterinarian that called earlier. I stepped on a nail on a job site in 2004. I lived in Michigan at the time. The funny thing was I was just doing what I was told, and I went and got a tetanus shot. And so, anyway, a month later, I ended up with chicken pox, something fierce. I was 28 at the time. It almost killed me. And I gave the chicken pox to a good friend of mine that was like 4 years older than me.
Yeah, that's the thing. They make these vaccines in the same tanks they make other stuff. That's one of the biggest problems.
Yeah. Lovely, huh?
Yeah, I mean, you heard her how it kills the dogs, and the Hollywood folks won't give it to them. They get expensive titer test or immunity antibody test. And then the vet can be made to back off, but you got to pay them off one way or the other.
Right.
But again, forget the dogs and cats. As much as I love dogs and like cats, the issue here is that this is being done to our kids. I mean, I'd say about a third of the kids I see walking around Austin have got an autoimmune disorder or brain disorder or a muscular disorder. And soon it'll be half, and then it'll be almost all. And we're just going to have everybody dying around us. And it's the answer is just take more shots. Just believe the government. You see what I'm... I mean, did they directly link the tetanus shot to giving you the chicken pox?
No, and I haven't really done any of my own research on it, but it was just odd that I'd never had the chicken pox before. Obviously, I was pretty immune to it. And then all of a sudden, I mean... I'd never felt like that before in my life.
Yeah, well, tetanus does lower a tetanus. Here's the deal. And I don't want to get into the science of it. I've had medical doctors on. The UN's been caught in Latin America, Africa, and Asia adding a certain female hormone, forget the name of it, to the tetanus shot, so it causes an autoimmune response to the tetanus shot and basically sterilizes the woman. But it also then fries the ovaries and uterus, and the women usually have all these different type of cysts and other disorders that come out of it. And they like it because it's a nice soft kill gift that ends up killing a lot of third world women. Then those that survive, they just flood us with them. They don't know any better, and they vote to make me their slave. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Do you owe the IRS money that you can't pay? Are tax liens and levies ruining your life? Are you tired of being afraid just to go to the mailbox? If this describes you, then Dan Pilla can help.
Hi, I'm Dan Pilla, and I've been solving tax problems for more than 30 years. In fact, I wrote the book that made it possible to negotiate settlements with the IRS, and I've helped thousands of people do exactly that. Call now at 800-346-6829 to learn how I can help you. You know your IRS debt will not go away by itself, but you don't have to live in fear anymore. New changes to IRS policies will help more people than ever before eliminate their debts once and for all. There's no need for you to suffer another day with IRS debt. Call 800-346-6829. I can help you eliminate wage and bank levies, release tax liens, and negotiate a settlement with the IRS that will put your tax nightmare behind you forever. Call 800-34-NO-TAX or go to my website, taxhelponline.com. That's taxhelponline.com.
From the water table to our soils to the atmosphere itself, our world is becoming more and more toxic each and every day. But it's not just the air outside that's toxic. Indoor air has been shown to have 2 to 5 times higher concentrations of pollutants than even outdoor air. And most Americans spend 90% of their time inside using toxic chemicals within their homes. There are more than 42 million smokers in the United States. Well over 1,000 types of mold and mildew linked to numerous conditions. And don't forget the fact that 6 million Americans live with pets they're allergic to as well. When I began to research these statistics, it was clear to me it was time to start cleansing my lungs in order to combat the toxic environment that we cannot escape, but that we can fight back against. Made with organic and wild cultivated herbs and manufactured in the USA, the new InfoWars Life Lung Cleanse is here in a convenient spray bottle that can be brought with you throughout any toxic environment. Now available exclusively at InfoWarsLife.com or by calling toll-free 888-253-3139.
Time and time again.
You need to come here and help us. We need assistance, please.
Those we should be able to depend on let us down.
Federal and state and local officials saying help is on the way. Well, the folks here in Bell Harbor say, show me.
Don't depend on the government to save you. Take action now so that you're prepared for the next disaster with MyPatriotSupply.com. Get the best prices on storable food, non-GMO seeds, water filtration devices, home canning equipment, survival and self-reliance books, and more at MyPatriotSupply.com. Call 866-229-0927.
We are hurting down here, and we need help immediately.
Before it's time to survive, it's time to prepare. MyPatriotSupply.com. MyPatriotSupply.com.
Clean water at home, clean water at the office, clean water on the go. The Berkey Guy has a Berkey water filtration model for anywhere you are and one that fits any budget. Thousands of satisfied customers can't be wrong. For free shipping within the U.S., go to goberkey.com or call 877-886-3653. That's 877-886-3653. Helping thousands prepare since 2005, goberkey.com.
Jessica Armand here, creator of My Magic Mud, the all-natural teeth whitener and strengthening remedy that's getting rave reviews from GCN listeners. Here's what Austin dentist Dr. Griffin Cole has to say about it.
I really love this Magic Mud product. Because charcoal is so absorbent, it's very effective at taking off all the sticky plaque and debris that gets stuck on our teeth every day. I highly recommend My Magic Mud.
Visit MyMagicMud.com to hear the full interview with Dr. Cole. Get your jar today. That's MyMagicMud.com.
Shackles. Don't want no shackles on me.
All right, folks, Alex Jones here, back live. Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com are the news websites. So we're going to hit some of that news in the next segment, talk to a guest, and get to the callers that are holding. There are two articles that caught my eye today. One of them is in the Daily Mail. The other is in CBS News out of Charlotte. Report, robots will take over more jobs than they create. And this is a new Pew Research 1,800 industry experts by the Pew Research Internet Project and the Elon University Imaging the Internet Center. And a large percentage, 48%, had direct fears that the role of artificial workers will be unstoppable and that humans will not be able to adjust in time to avoid massive unemployment and social disruption. Here is another one. IBM develops a computer chip with 1 million neurons that functions like a human brain. IBM has developed a computer chip which it says will function like a human brain, and a giant step forward for artificial intelligence. True North is being hailed as the world's first neurosynaptic computer chip because it can figure things out on its own. The chip also has 1 million neurons and could cram the same power as a supercomputer into the circuit the size of a postage stamp. Now, let's talk about that. It's a very complex issue, obviously, but here's an example of technology innovating things and being good. Uber started 4 or 5 years ago. I'm going to do a whole report on it this week. We're going to get on that and get it done. Where you can use an app and you only order it when you want it, and the Uber cab shows up on average in about 5 minutes in major cities, and I found it's a better experience than the average cab. Now, some cities are smart and the cabs opt into it. Other cities, they're trying to ban it. These associations of cabbies, because they want to run their same old system instead of adapting to it. And governments don't like it because they can't tax it and can't control it, and they're trying to block it. So, of course, it's an innovation where a nice black car comes and gets you. There's not, it's all set and computerized, the meter, and you can give them a tip on the computer if you want on your smartphone. That's an example of an innovation, a renaissance by freeing things up and smashing monopolies. And, of course, the power structure is trying to block it. On the other side, you've got Google coming in with their driverless cars and others, where they're already arguing, oh, it's safer than humans, even though they're having wrecks all the time and driving the wrong side down the road. And these things will be used by the insurance companies. Well, always said will be. Now they're doing it. To say, we need new systems on your car that take control when you're driving bad, or track what you've done, or instantly report back wirelessly to the police. No, we shouldn't, as consumers, allow products that surveil us with a predatory system. We, with our buying habits, should say no to those products before it becomes mandatory, which they're already trying to push. Smart meters, I told you 15 years ago, would control the temperature in your house, would game the algorithms and increase your prices. Now they've been caught from Austin, Texas to San Francisco, California, doing it. It's not that a smart meter, it would be bad. It's that a bad system gave you the Trojan horse. People who have bad will built it. It's very simple. It's like if you had a renter renting a room from you, you don't want to rent it to a person that's got 14 convictions. You don't want to open the door to Count Dracula with big fangs when he has to come in. I mean, this is a bad new world order. So basically anything they give us may have some good applications, but it's Trojan horse run and has back doors, and there's a reason they gave it to us that isn't good in the big equation. Can we hack it? Can we jailbreak it? Can we end up using these little devil phones for good things? Can I shoot a YouTube video on it or a live feed and expose the police state with it? Yeah, but in the next version, they now hit a button where smartphone apps don't work. I happen to be downtown last week when they had a Palestinian Gaza demonstration of about 1,000 people. And I walked out of a restaurant to go film it and to do a live feed, and guess what? My phone would not work. I had a friend with me. Their Apple iPhone as well would not live stream and would not upload. And I saw Austin cops on rooftops. I don't need to check. I know. They were with the feds testing a jamming system. And I went home and Googled it. Sure enough, they're using jamming systems all over the country, and they have the patents, and it's already gone into the new Apples and Droids to hit one button at the Threat Fusion Center and disable phones in certain grids. So you're now going to have to buy a vintage camera, just like all the new cameras have GPS already built into them, even $200 cameras. That's actually a chip to turn your phone off, your camera off.
We're on the march.
See, folks?